So we are on to the chapter Vistas and O level by Colin Dexter. Norman Corn Dexter, 1930 to 2017, was an English crime writer known for his Inspector Morse series of novels and adapted as television series Inspector Morse. His characters have spawned a sequel series, Lewis, and a prequel series, Endeavour. In 1996, Dexter won a Macarty Award for this short story. Theme. The theme of the story, advanced as an O-level, is a clever escape planned by a convict on the pretense of taking a language exam in prison. The convict, even after being caught, still has a last laugh and makes his escape. The story deals with his smartness, foresight, and planning his escape. With his meticulous planning and keen observation, Evans outsmarts the prison authorities. The story deals with the clever escape Evans and the governor's pursuit to catch him. Evans, with his ready wit and charm, proves at the end that things are not what they seem to be, and we should not jump to the conclusions hastily. Now, the characters of the story: the Secretary of the Examination Board, the Governor of HM Prison, Oxford, James Evans, a prisoner, Mr. Jackson, a senior prison officer, Mr. Stephens, a prison officer, Reverend S. McCleary, an invigilator, and Mr. Carter, detective superintendent, and Mr. Bell, detective chief inspector. Now, it was early March when the Secretary of Examination Board received the call from the Oxford prison. It's a slight unusual request, Governor, but I don't see why we shouldn't try to help. Just the one fellow, you say? That's it. Chap called Evans. Started night classes in O-level German last September. Says he's dead keen to get some sort of academic qualification. Is he any good? He was the only one in the class, so you can say he has had individual tuition all the time. Really, would have cost him a packet if he had been outside. Well, let's give him a chance, shall we? That's jolly kind of you. What exactly is the procedure now? Oh, don't worry about that. I'll be sending you all the forms and stuff. What is his name, you say? Evans? James Roderick Evans. It sounded rather grand. So, somewhere in the early March, the governor made a call to the secretary of the examination board, telling him about one of the prisoners, inmates, who had been doing his O-level classes of German from September, and he wanted to give exams. So he wanted to know from the secretary whether that is possible. Secretary said that it is possible, and he would be sending him the forms and everything, which and the procedure and everything. He would be sending him and telling him how that is to be done. And so uh, that is what we come to know from this conversation of these two gentlemen. Now, secretary, while talking to the governor, he says that uh, he's not a violent sort of fellow, is he? I don't want to know his criminal record or anything like that. But so the secretary of the examination board, he wanted to know the background of Evans, whether he had any record of violence against his name or something like that. So governor assures him, no, 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 there's no record of violence. Quite a pleasant sort of chap, they tell me. Bit of a card, really. One of the stars at the Christmas concert. Imitations, you know, the sort of thing, Mike Yardwood stuff. No, he's just a congenital kleptomaniac, that's all. No, 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 there's no such record of violence against him. He's just a congenital. Congenital means milansar, someone who is very quickly mixing with others. Kleptomaniac, someone who is in the habit of stealing. The governor was tempted to add something else, but he thought better of it. He wanted to tell something about it, but then he stopped himself. He would look after that. Now if you look at that word that, it is written in italics. So there was something special, but the governor decided that he would look after that particular thing himself. Presumably, said the secretary, you can arrange a room where. So secretary said that okay, fine, you can arrange a room where the examination can be taken. So governor said no problem. He's in a cell on his own. If you have no objection, he can sit the exam in there. Oh, that's fine. And we can easily get one of the parson. Parson means priest from the St. Mary Max to invigilate, if that's fine, yes. They seem to have a lot of parsons there, don't they? The two men chuckled good naturedly, and the secretary had a final thought. One thing, you shouldn't have much trouble keeping him incommunicado, should you? So secretary gave him a caution that till the examination and everything is over, he should he should make it possible that there is no communication with anyone from outside with Evans. Incommunicado. Incommunicado means no communication. The governor chuckled politely once more, repeated his thanks, and slowly cradled the phone. Evans. Now you remember? Governor wanted to say something, but he stopped himself. Now what is that something which governor wanted to say? Now this is something which is related to Evans. Evans the break, as the prison officers called him, because thrice he had escaped from the prison. Now Evans was actually kept at the maximum security cell. But there was some problem going on over there. For temporary reasons, Evans was transferred to Oxford prison, and governor had made it sure. uh, Governor wanted to make it sure that he would not give any chance to Evans to disgrace himself. Now, what is the biggest disgrace for a jailer? A prisoner escaping from his prison, and governor wanted to make it absolutely clear that he would not give any chance to Evans to escape from the jail. Not that Evans was a real burden, just a persistent nagging presence. Means at the back of the mind, everyone had this feeling that this man has a reputation of breaking the jail, running away from the jail, escaping from the jail. So that was the thing which was there. And governor said that he would be all right in Oxford. The governor would see to it, though, see to it personally. And besides, governor thought that there was a possibility that Evans was genuine. Now look at this shift of thinking. There was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German. Just a slight possibility. Just a very slight possibility. Means at the back of the mind, governor had also the same idea. Good luck, Harry Evans. Pardon, I said, good luck. Good luck for So this is the scene. This was the last class. After the last class, the German instructor shook hands with Governor Evans and said that, okay, good luck. Good luck in German. But maybe Evans did not understand what the instructor was saying, so he asked to repeat it. So the instructor translated in English saying that, okay, good luck for tomorrow's exam. And then Evans, trying to show as if he knew English, this is German, he said that, okay, Dankeschön, thank you. And then the instructor said that he did not feel that Evans had any chance of clearing the exam, but Evans said that he would be surprising everyone. Now next morning at 8:30, the following morning, the Evans had a visitor, two visitors in fact. Two people came to his cell. Now he went on and stood over there, and he welcomed one of them, Mr. Jackson. Morning, Mr. Jackson. This is indeed an honor. Now this is actually spoken in a sarcasm. Now Jackson was a senior officer on D Wing, and he and Evans had already become warm enemies. Warm enemies means they were not actually enemies, but they were trying to pull the legs of each other whenever they got their chance. At Jackson's side stood Officer Stephens, a burly, surly-looking man only recently recruited to the profession. Now Jackson was a senior prison officer, and Stephens was a new recruit. Now, Burly Surly, what is this Burly Surly? Burly means heavily built and Surly means serious looking person. But when he welcomed Jackson, and Jackson also knew that it was not the real welcome, it was just a sarcasm. So he also said, "Okay, and how's our little Einstein this morning then?" While he calls Evans a little Einstein because Einstein was a German and Evans was learning German, so it was again a sarcasm. But Evans was someone who was not easily put off. He said, "Oh, wasn't he a mathematician, Mr. Jackson? I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson." So he was a mathematician, he was a Jew. Actually, Evans is trying to say that he is neither of them. Ivan's face was unshaven and he wore a filthy looking red and white bobble hat upon his head. "Give me a chance, Mr. Jackson. I was just going to shave when you burst in." "Okay, give me some time. I was about to shave." And with the reference of the Jackson immediately turned to Stephen saying that, "Okay, that reminds me. Make sure you take his razor out of the cell when he's finished scrapping that ugly mock office. Once his shaving is over, take away his razor." And look at the way Jackson says that it would be better. अच्छा होता किसी दिन इसी razor से अपना गला काट लेता, and one of these days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat. And that would be a relief to everyone. For a few seconds, Ivan looked thoughtfully at the man standing ramrod straight in front of him. A string of Second World War medals uh, proudly paraded over his left breast pocket. "Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away?" He looked at the man standing in front of him. Now, the Second World War medals, that what does that suggest? So that suggests that Mr. Jackson was a veteran of the World War. He was a soldier earlier and now he was working as a senior prison officer. After he gave this comment that one day he would be cutting off his throat and that would be an what you can say relief to everyone. Ivan said that did he do anything with his nail scissor? Evans was very particular about his fingers and nails and all that. "And your nail file too." So Jackson said, "Not only nail scissors, your nail file too. Look." For a moment, Evans' eyes smoldered dangerously. Smoldered. There was anger in the eyes. But Jackson was ready for him. "Orders of the governor, Evans." He leaned forward and leered, his voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper. "You want to complain? Shikayat karna hai." "Whom you want to complain? Governor? Okay, this has been done on the orders of the governor." Ivan shrugged his shoulders lightly. The crisis was over. "You have got an hour to smarten yourself, Evans, and take that bloody hat off." And before leaving that place, Jackson said that, "Okay, fine, you have got half an hour, half an hour." That was the day when the examination was about to take place. So, so he said that, "Okay, fine, you have got half an hour to clean up yourself and all that." And before leaving that, he said that, "Take that filthy hat off." "My hat!" Evans put his right hand lovingly on the top of the filthy wool and smiled sadly. "Do you know, Mr. Jackson, it's the only thing that's ever brought me any sort of luck in life. Kind of lucky charm, if you know what I mean. And today I thought, well, with me, exam and all that, buried somewhere in Jackson was a tiny core of compassion, and he once knew it. Now see, this is something which is very, very, very natural. And many of the players, many of the people, even many of you who are listening to this, you have your lucky charm for examination or something other on for examination or something like that. You have a lucky pen, you have lucky food, or you have a lucky god or something like that. So Evans, who knew that this man who looks so strict, so tough, is actually has some compassion within, and he was playing that. He's saying that, see, this my hat is a lucky charm, and today is the exam, so I should be allowed to wear it. Just this once, then Shirley Temple. If there was one thing that Jackson genuinely loathed about Evans, it was his long wavy hair and get shaving. So okay, Jackson said, "Fine, fine, fine. You can have this hat on." He calls him Shirley Temple. While he calls him Shirley Temple, because there was one thing that Jackson genuinely hated about him, and that was his long, wavy hair. And because of that long, wavy hair, he had given him the name Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple. And he says, okay, fine, I allow you to wear this hat, but then clean yourself, get your shaving. So this was the first part of